The OIM signs the papers, but the Toolpusher runs the rig. This platform burns up to $600,000 every single day. What nobody knew at the time was that one cabin light is always on, and it's not the captain's. The Toolpusher is the senior drilling supervisor on board, not management calling from shore, but someone who actually lives on the rig, rotation after rotation. This person carries direct responsibility for all drilling operations, crew performance, and well integrity around the clock. The OIM is the legal captain. The Toolpusher is the operational engine. But this story doesn't start with the drill floor. It starts with the cabin. Step inside and you understand everything immediately. The Toolpusher's cabin sits deliberately close to the rig floor, not by accident, not by preference, but because proximity is the job itself. Every meter of distance between that bunk and the drill floor is a meter of reaction time lost. And on a billion-dollar platform burning through money by the minute, reaction time is everything. The cabin is small, functional, always lit. A desk buried under well reports, mud logs, and daily drilling reports that stack up faster than anyone can clear them. A radio mounted on the wall that operates on its own schedule, completely indifferent to whatever hour it decides to announce itself. A hard hat sitting by the door because there is never enough time to go looking for it when something goes wrong. This is not a retreat. This is a forward operating base dressed up as a bedroom. What nobody talks about is the noise. The rig floor bleeds sound through the walls at every hour. The low mechanical groan of the drawworks, the rhythmic percussion of pipe being made up, the intermittent hiss of equipment cycling through pressure. It is not the kind of noise that fades into the background. It is the kind that keeps a specific part of your brain permanently switched on, scanning, categorizing, deciding whether that particular sound is normal or the first warning of something that isn't. Read that again. There is no separation between the workspace and the rest space. The cabin is the office. The office is the cabin. A Toolpusher does not leave work at the end of the day because the end of the day does not exist in any meaningful sense. Reports get reviewed at midnight. Phone calls happen at 3 in the morning. A knock on that door can come from a driller with a problem, a company rep with a timeline, or a mechanic with equipment that just stopped behaving. The Toolpusher answers all of them. If the Toolpusher had stopped here, this would be a very different story. But the cabin is only the beginning of what this role actually demands. But the Toolpusher wasn't done yet, not even close. The same proximity that makes the Toolpusher effective was about to reveal exactly why genuine rest is almost structurally impossible, and what happens when it runs out. The same proximity that built the Toolpusher's operational authority was about to destroy it. The official tour of duty is 12 hours on paper, morning tower or night tower, with a handover to the other Toolpusher at the shift change. Clean, simple, manageable on a scheduling document. The reality stretches that 12 hours into something closer to 16 or 18, and it does so quietly, incrementally, in ways that are easy to normalize until you're deep inside a hitch and the math stops adding up. The morning starts before boots hit the floor. Drilling reports from the overnight shift need reviewing. Well data needs interpreting. Rate of penetration, weight on bit, mud weight, any anomalies in the gas readings coming back up the annulus. The crew briefing happens before the day crew takes over the floor, which means the Toolpusher is already operating at full cognitive load before the sun is properly up. Midday belongs to coordination. The company man has targets, depth targets, time targets, cost targets, and those conversations happen across a desk or a radio channel with financial pressure that doesn't need to be stated out loud because everyone already feels it. Equipment issues surface during the day. A top drive acting up, a pump losing efficiency, a BOP function test that needs signing off before drilling can resume. Every one of these requires a decision, a signature, or both. The afternoon bleeds into evening without any natural boundary. Paperwork accumulates. Service company representatives need answers. A crew issue surfaces, someone working unsafely, someone struggling with the pace, something that needs addressing before it becomes a pattern that costs the operation more than a conversation would have. Nighttime is supposed to be rest. The other tool pusher has the watch. The floor is covered and the cabin is available. But alarms from monitoring systems do not observe courtesy hours. Radio calls from the driller on tour do not check the clock before transmitting. Knocks on that cabin door arrive at 2, at 3, at 4 in the morning, carrying problems that someone decided could not wait until daylight. The 12-hour shift is the official version. The tool pusher lives the unofficial one. Well control is the moment everything gets real. It is the discipline of keeping formation pressure, the natural pressure of the reservoir underground, from pushing back up the drill string and taking control of the wellbore. When the formation wins that fight, the consequences escalate with terrifying speed. The early warning signs are subtle enough to be dangerous. A kick, an influx of formation fluid into the wellbore, can begin as a small pit gain, a slight increase in the volume of drilling mud returning to surface. A flow check that shows the well moving when it shouldn't be. Each of these signals is easy to rationalize away under financial pressure, schedule pressure, and the very human tendency to believe the anomaly will resolve itself if you give it another few minutes. The tool pusher is the first point of contact when something feels wrong underground. The driller calls it in, but the tool pusher makes the call. Shut the well in or keep drilling. Increase mud weight or hold steady. Call the company man now or gather more data first. These decisions arrive under fatigue, under financial pressure, and under the knowledge that every minute of unplanned downtime is being measured in hundreds of thousands of dollars. What comes next is the part that still doesn't make sense. That these decisions, carrying the weight they carry, are being made by a human being who may have been awake for 14 hours, in a cabin the size of a large closet, with a radio and a stack of reports as the only tools available. April 20th, 2010. The Deepwater Horizon. Macondo Well, Mississippi Canyon Block 252. 11 people dead, 17 injured. The largest accidental marine oil spill in history. The investigation found multiple warning signs in the hours before the blowout. Signs that were present, discussed, and ultimately not acted upon with sufficient force. The tool pusher's world, compressed into a single catastrophic night, shown to the entire planet. The well does not care about the schedule. The company man sits at the intersection of the operator's ambitions and the rig's physical reality. The well program, the targets, the casing points, the mud weights, the timeline comes from the operator. The company man is the operator's representative on board, and the well program defines what success looks like and approximately when it should arrive. Every hour of unplanned downtime costs the operator somewhere between $200,000 and $600,000. That number is not abstract. It is present in every conversation between the company man and the tool pusher. It lives in the way a question gets asked, in the pause before an answer, in the tone of a radio call at 2 in the morning asking for an update on when drilling will resume. The tool pusher's job is to execute the company man's program, to deliver the depth, hit the casing point, keep the operation moving forward within the technical and safety limits the rig can actually handle. That sounds straightforward until the limits get tested. Saying no is not a neutral act on a drilling rig. The word carries weight that extends beyond the current conversation, beyond the current well, beyond the current contract. Tool pushers who develop a reputation for being difficult to work with find that contracts have a way of not being renewed. The financial ecosystem of offshore drilling is not structured to reward caution that costs money. A specific detail was a warning sign. The tool pusher ignored it, not out of recklessness, but because the pressure to keep moving is structural, constant, and arrives dressed as reasonableness. And yet, saying yes to an unsafe timeline does not just risk money, it risks the people on that floor. The tension between those two outcomes, career on one side, crew on the other, sits in every conversation inside that cabin. It does not announce itself. It does not require anyone to raise their voice. It simply exists, daily and unspoken, in the space between what the program demands and what the rig can safely deliver. Managing 30 to 60 drilling department personnel across two 12-hour shifts sounds like a logistics problem. It is not. It is a human problem, and human problems do not resolve themselves with a better spreadsheet. Each shift needs leadership. Each shift needs discipline. Each shift needs enough morale to keep people focused and safe through 12 hours of physically demanding, technically unforgiving work on a platform miles from the nearest shore. The Toolpusher is responsible for all of it, across both shifts, across the entire hitch. The work itself is only part of what needs managing. Fatigue accumulates differently in different people. Conflicts develop between crew members who have been living and working in close quarters for weeks. Homesickness is real, and it affects performance in ways that don't show up on a drilling report, but absolutely show up on the floor. A roughneck who got bad news from home last night is a safety risk today, and the Toolpusher needs to know that before the morning tour begins. The rotation schedule creates a structural problem that never fully resolves. Half the crew is always new, always adjusting, to the specific rig, to the specific crew dynamic, to the specific demands of the current well. There is no stable team rhythm because the team is always partially in flux. The Toolpusher rebuilds the crew dynamic from partial scratch every single hitch. The Toolpusher is part foreman, part counselor, part referee. You'd think someone would have said something. Nobody did. Because none of that shows up in the job description, and nobody above the rig floor level is tracking whether the crew's morale is holding together. Someone specific saw it coming. Experienced Toolpushers carry the weight of knowing that a crew problem ignored today becomes a safety incident tomorrow. Nobody listened, because the schedule was already behind. Most people never heard about this part. Sleep deprivation on a drilling rig is not an accident, not a failure of scheduling, not a problem that better time management could solve. It is structural. The cabin's position relative to the rig floor is not a coincidence. It is a design decision that prioritizes operational response time over human recovery. The consequence is that genuine, uninterrupted sleep is almost architecturally impossible. Fragmented sleep across 16 to 18 effective workdays compounds over the length of a rotation in ways that do not announce themselves dramatically. The degradation is gradual. By week 3 of a 28-day hitch, the accumulated deficit is significant, but it arrives slowly enough that the person carrying it often cannot accurately assess how impaired their judgment has become. That is the specific danger of chronic sleep deprivation. It erodes the very faculties needed to recognize its own presence. Fatigue distorts judgment. It narrows the field of attention. It increases the likelihood of anchoring on the first interpretation of ambiguous data rather than holding multiple possibilities open. It makes the mind want to resolve uncertainty quickly rather than sit with it long enough to gather better information. These are precisely the cognitive tendencies that become dangerous when a Toolpusher is evaluating a gas reading at 3 in the morning and deciding whether to shut the well in. Digital monitoring systems and leaner crewing models have added administrative load on top of frontline duties over the last decade. More data to review, more digital forms to complete, more compliance documentation to generate, and fewer support personnel to share the weight. The Toolpusher carries more desk work than the role historically required, and that desk work happens in the same hours that used to be available for recovery. The industry knows this is a problem. Studies, reports, safety reviews, the documentation exists. The Toolpusher does not need a report to tell them what they already live inside every single hitch. The rotation is the invisible architecture of the Toolpusher's life. 28 days on, 28 days off, or 21 and 21, depending on the rig, the region, and the contract. On paper, it looks like an even trade. In practice, it is nothing like balance. 28 days offshore means 28 mornings that happen somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico, or the North Sea, or offshore West Africa, while a different life continues without you on land. It means birthdays that arrive on the wrong side of the rotation, anniversaries acknowledged over a satellite phone with a connection that cuts out at exactly the wrong moment. School plays, graduations, funerals, events that mark the passage of time in a family's life, attended by everyone except the person whose cabin light is always on. Coming home after a month away is not a simple return. The household has adapted. The children have grown into slightly different versions of themselves. The rhythms of daily life on shore have continued and adjusted without the Toolpusher's presence because they had to. Re-entering that life requires its own kind of recalibration, learning to exist in a space where the phone does not ring at 3 in the morning and nobody needs a decision made before sunrise. The pay is real. Toolpushers earn compensation that reflects the weight of the role. 6-figure annual salaries are standard for experienced operators in deep-water environments, and the offshore premium exists precisely because the lifestyle cost is genuine. But money compensates for things already spent. The currency the rotation actually consumes is time, and time is the one resource that does not accrue interest and cannot be recovered. Many Toolpushers describe the rig as a second home, not with resentment, but with the honest recognition that it is the place where their skills are most fully deployed, where the purpose of everything they've learned over decades is most directly expressed. The rig needs them in a way that is specific and irreplaceable. That matters to people. It just comes at a cost that never fully disappears from the accounting. Pay attention to this next detail because it explains everything. There is no shortcut to the Toolpusher's cabin. The path runs through 10 to 20 years of rig floor experience, not classroom hours, not management training programs, not accelerated leadership tracks. Actual rig floor time. Actual problems solved under actual pressure. The career path has a specific shape. It starts on the floor as a roughneck, the entry-level position, physically demanding, technically foundational. From there, the progression moves through floorhand, derrickman, driller, assistant toolpusher, and finally, toolpusher. The derrickman develops an understanding of the mud system and the traveling equipment that the driller needs. The driller develops the operational decision-making and crew management instinct that the assistant toolpusher needs. The assistant toolpusher carries the full technical picture while learning to manage the political and commercial weight that the toolpusher carries alone. Well control certification is non-negotiable. Typically, the IWCF or IADC well control certificate at supervisor level, renewed on a regular cycle. Safety management training. Drilling engineering knowledge sufficient to read a well plan, understand the implications of the geological prognosis, and recognize when the plan needs to be questioned. These are not optional extras. They are the minimum technical floor. That's the kind of number that makes accountants cry. 10 to 20 years of accumulated experience, certifications, and operational credibility, all pointing toward a cabin the size of a large hotel room with a radio that never stops and a door that never locks. For a while, things actually seemed fine. A new toolpusher finds their rhythm, the crew responds, the well progresses on schedule. That didn't last, because the job does not stay manageable for long before the next complication surfaces and demands the full weight of everything those years on the floor actually built. One wrong call, under one moment of too much pressure, changes everything permanently. What survived, what people remember, what changed permanently because of this story, is that someone chose to carry what most people never could. Subscribe now. The next episode goes deeper into a role you've never heard of.